Hello， 大家好，欢迎来到金钱家播客之与100位陌生人聊天。今天我邀请到的一位嘉宾，真的是一位非常重磅的嘉宾，就是 Gilbert 老师。那 Gilbert 老师是一位在中国待了45年的比利时人，也是官方认证过的中国人民的好朋友。赶紧请 Gilbert 老师来做一下自我介绍。Hi Gilbert, can you introduce yourself for our audience?
Okay, I'm from Belgium, as you already mentioned. I came in China in 1980. The question I always receive is, why did I come to China in 1980? It's always a suspicious question, because many people think that if you came that time, you must be some communist that was kicked out of your country for political reasons. So you come to communist China. That was not my case. Like I said, I came to China because I'm a capitalist. I was starting a new job here in Beijing in 1980. So I came really for the money, like we say. I didn't come for communism. And I came here to open an office for a Belgian company, also a big consortium, because the company and the consortium had won a very big project in Henan province, Pindingshan, and for a big power plant. And that was actually the first soft loan given to China. So that was a soft loan, was before already done. I didn't do this. I just came here to oversee the execution of the project. This is how I started. So that time Beijing was really so different. The young Chinese like you cannot imagine how Beijing was in the 80s, you know, because it's so different from today. And that time was very dark. Basically, there was no foreign supermarket. There were no normal shops. Everything was government shops. Many of the shops you needed a coupon to buy something.
Yes.
If you want a bicycle, your janeuibewu have to give you a coupon, a ticket to buy it, or a sewing machine, all these things. There was only one shop, and that shop doesn't exist anymore today. That shop was called the Friendship Store.
Friendship Store.
On JaneWuwhy.
Yeah.
So there were no bars, there were no foreign restaurants, there was nothing. There were no office buildings, no apartment buildings for foreigners, there was nothing. So the only thing you could do that time was work and live in a hotel.
Oh.
So I was lucky because I got a room in the Beijing hotel. They tried to kick me out. I refused to leave.
Oh, okay.
So I just stayed there in the room. I said, I don't go anywhere, I stay here. So I started with one small room where I had my office. And every day, 8 o'clock in the morning, my Chinese secretary would come in, whether I was sick or not, or whatever. He was knock at the door. And so you had no privacy. It was very different. So we also that time, contact with the local people was not encouraged. We could not sit together like now. No, because then the police would catch you after and ask you why you were sitting with that foreigner, what did you discuss, blah, blah, blah. So, and surely you could not come to my room to have a water, because then the police would also break into the room and arrest you and send you to prison immediately. It was really tough. This is why when I came to China, I didn't speak Chinese. So that was really a very different time. There were only 2 subway lines, line 1 and line 2. And taxis were very difficult. You had to call them with the telephone. Because of course that time no mobile, no internet, even there were no fax machines. Fax machines, they came much later in the 80s. You needed a special license to have a fax machine. You could not just say, oh, I want to fax. Oh, no. Everything was with regulations and very strict. I actually used a lot of the telex machine that you most probably don't know what it is. Like a very big typewriter.
Okay.
And it's with a perforated piece of paper.
Okay.
So you prepare the perforated piece of paper, you type it, and then in the paper there are some holes in it. So when you start transmitting, you transmit and then the paper goes in, it makes a lot of noise. Also when you receive it, a lot of noise. And so it prints out when you receive a message. Actually, I invented to talk online with the telex. Yeah, so with our head office in Belgium, I would tell the secretary to send the message, okay, we can talk now. And she would type the message and I would type back without the perforated paper, just typing immediately and sending to her. So this is sometimes how we communicated, because you could not really call like Belgium. If you wanted to call Belgium, you had to reserve the call like 2 hours in advance.
Okay.
And then if for some reason the line would be busy, well, that's too bad, you know. Oh, it's busy, boom. So you have to book again the call. So it was always very complicated communication. Of course, there was no foreign TV, no foreign newspapers. It was basically, there was nothing.
Okay.
And the first bar opened in, I think, 1982, if I'm not mistaken. It was the first hotel that opened, foreign hotel, was the JaneWuwhy Hotel. You still have that bar. It's called Charlie's. And I remember the first time I went there, I said, oh my gosh, we have a bar. Because the only place you could basically sit and drink something was in the lobby of the Beijing Hotel. We called that the zoo. And in the beginning, I didn't know what was going on. All my friends were saying, oh, do you go to the zoo today? I said, these people every day go to the zoo. What they are doing in the zoo? My God, every day. But there was actually in kind of a lobby area in the Beijing Hotel where there were shops, counters, and you could order something to drink there, a beer. And we called it the zoo because we saw all the animals passing by.
Yes.
So whoever came to Beijing, you would see them there. You were sitting there and you would just see them passing by. And even some very famous people. I remember one time I was joking. I said, oh, look, this guy from the movies is passing. You are making it as a joke. But it was really the actor. We would just look at the people passing by, you know. And of course, we thought that the people passing by were the animals, and the people passing by saw us, and they thought we were the animals, you know. So yeah, the situation there was really very difficult. So I had my office in the Beijing Hotel, I think 5 or 6 years. And then I got more rooms. From one room, I got 2 rooms. Later, I got the suite, and the suite became the office, original room. Actually, does not exist anymore today in the Beijing Hotel, because, as you might know, there is a new wing next to the Beijing Hotel, close to on the Tiananmen side. Yes. It's a luxury hotel. And because of that new hotel, my room was finished, because it was against the building, you know.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so that room doesn't exist anymore. Luyo Lingzhou, 5109. Yeah, and then 5107, and later 5087. That was the suite. So yeah, so many stories. So I never planned to stay so long time in Beijing. But you know, one more year, and then in the end, I had this sticker on my head that said Chinaman.
Yes.
I want to go somewhere else, and they said, no, you stay in China because you're the specialist of China. I said, okay.